Welcome to Tactical T-Rex. I'm glad you came to spend some time with me today, and it's extra special because this is our very first show. You know, sometimes bad things can happen, and the people that survive are the people who have prepared ahead of time and know what to do. The things that we're going to learn together can help us survive in a time of crisis and might save your life or the life of someone that you love. So let's jump right in and talk about the first and most important tool that we're going to learn about, the Swiss Army knife. I've got one right in front of me here. Why don't you come in closer so you can have a look? This is a for real Swiss Army knife made by the Victorinox company. These cost a little bit of money, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a Victorinox. I got this one at Walmart and it only cost $4. It has all the same tools on it and it will work very well. Now let's have a look at all of the cool blades and tools that are on this knife. Before we do anything though, safety is important. All of these tools have cutty and pokey parts. I'll be showing you how to use them safely, but it's still best at first to use yours with the help from the adults in your life, especially for you little T-Rexes. I'll show you how to get the tools out and put them back in. They all work the same way, so it's very simple. You see these little notches here on top of the tools? That's so you can get your fingernail in there, get a good grip, and then you can pull the blade of the tool all the way out until it snaps open. See that? And then it'll stay put. Make sure to keep your fingers away from the pokey or the cutty parts here and here. All right, to close the blade of the tool, we turn the knife over so it points down to the ground, away from our bodies. We put our hand flat on top of the blade of the tool because this part here is not cutty or pokey and will do no harm. We put our hand flat on top of the blade of the tool and then we clap our hands together just like at an assembly at school. There we are, just like that. I'll show you again. Open and close. We'll open this blade again because we'll be using it the most. This is what we do most of our cutting with. Now, when we cut away from our body so that we stay safe. Watch me cut this string. Away from my body. See? Really easy. And we'll close it safely. Just like that. This tool has two uses. It's a screwdriver and a bottle opener. This kind of screwdriver is good for a screw called a flathead. I have a flathead screw to show you. Let me just get it over here. It looks just like that. All you have to do is set the screwdriver into the slot and turn the screw just like that. If you want to undo the screw or take the screw out, all you do is twist the other way. Remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. The curvy part here is what we use to open bottles with. Some bottles don't have a screw cap and need a tool like this to open them. It's very simple to use. Just get this hooky part right here up underneath the cap of the bottle. Put the screwdriver part here right on top of the cap. And all you got to do is pry it up a little bit, just like that. Boom! Off it goes. Make sure that you really want to open the bottle though, because you can't put a cap like this back on. This kind of screw is called a Phillips head, or sometimes a star. We have a tool for that right on our Swiss Army knife. I'll close this one. Safely, just like I showed you. If we turn the knife over, the Phillips head screwdriver is right here. Just open her up, and you're ready to go. Remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Just like that. And remember always, we close it safely. Now this tool is really cool. It's a can opener. And you can see that it's got a pointy part and a hooky part. I'll show you how it works. I've got a can of dinosaur chow right here. Now the first thing we want to do is put the can flat on the table with our hand on the other side, safety first. Then we take this pokey part right here and set it right on top of the can, just like that. I'll bring it in closer so you can see. The hooky part goes on the bottom of this rim that goes all the way around. It's flat on the bottom, and that's what it's there for. So with our hand on the other side holding the can firm, all we got to do is push the pokey part into the top of the can, and pow, we poked a hole in the can. And then all we got to do is do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. And before you know it, you'll be all the way around the can, just like this. Now remember, when we get the can all the way open, never put your finger down in there to get the top of the can, because this part and this part can be very sharp, and you can cut yourself pretty badly like that. Just stick the pokey part of the can opener in underneath and push it out, just like that. Now, the problem with opening a can of dinosaur chow is that you can't close it back up again. And my mom always told me not to waste food, so you'll have to excuse me for a moment. Oh, that was some good dinosaur chow, I'll tell you. Woo-wee! Do you hear that? That's the eagle. That means it's time for us to talk about great Americans. And the great American for today is Mr. Crispus Attucks. Mr. Attucks was a businessman in Boston, and he lived a long time ago, before we were even a country. Now, Mr. Attucks and his family had to work very hard to earn their freedom because they weren't born with it. So they were in a position to appreciate it a lot more than you or me. Well, when the British came down with a lot of taxes and other mean things to take away our freedom, Mr. Attucks wasn't having any of that. He went down to the town square to protest the things that the British were doing. For reasons that we don't really understand, the British opened fire on the protesters, and Mr. Attucks was killed. A lot of people were very angry that Mr. Attucks was killed because he was a respected person. And the outrage over Mr. Attucks' death was one of the things that led up to the American Revolution, where we became free. Mr. Attucks was a T-Rex because he valued freedom so much that he was willing to give his life for it. So let's give him a big T-Rex salute. Salute! Well, we're about to the end of the time that we have together today. I hope you had as much fun as I did. I want you to remember that the Almighty loves all the little T-Rexes, and He wants you to survive so that your light doesn't go out of the world, especially when things get bad, because then He can send His light wherever it is needed. The Almighty also wants you to be safe, and so do I. That's why it's best that we take the things that we learn together and practice them with the adults in our life. You know, it's really a great thing to ask mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or uncle or older brother to say, hey, come and get tactical with me. It's a great way to spend some time together, and you can show them that anybody can be a tactical T-Rex. See you next time.
I will never be afraid again. I will keep on fighting till the end. I can walk on water, I can fly. I will keep on fighting till I die.
Tactical T-Rex is a Joel Hine production. Tactical T-Rex is not monetized in any way. Any products or businesses mentioned or shown are because Tactical T-Rex thinks it's cool and or uses it himself. If you do not want your children learning self-sufficiency in times of disaster, the undying love that the Almighty has for them, or how super cool it is to be an American, by all means, don't let them watch it. You're the parents, you know best. Any negative comments will be ignored.